everyone, and welcome back to Starting 11, the soccer recap show here on the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. That's my buddy Snark. And Snark, this episode we're not talking about the English Premier League, but instead the very strange November-December World Cup.
Yeah, there's a tiny competition everyone's agreed to do for some reason over American Thanksgiving this year, which is nice. I think that's nice. Uh, yeah, it's odd to have the World Cup, going to play around Christmas time, but, these days you take what you can get.
Absolutely. We've had 4 matches in the World Cup so far, and we are going to talk about them. So let's get started.
Yeah, because we literally have nothing else to talk about. Guys, okay. First off, Adelia, did you watch any of the opening ceremonies?
No.
No, me neither. Not 1 second. I refuse to. First off, I hate opening ceremonies. I hate them for the Olympics. I hate them for this. I think they're ridiculous. Morgan Freeman, for some reason, was at the opening ceremony.
I saw that. Like, why?
Had to narrate it. Someone had to narrate it.
I
Is that it? I have no idea. Ugh. So, yeah, that was the big deal, I guess. And then we got to the matches. Finally, here we go. Ecuador, Qatar, the big match everyone has been waiting to see. All right. Qatar,
It was a match.
This
the best of
exists.
matches, but it was a match.
This match does exist now for everyone, for history to see. Ecuador looked good. Hard to say how good they looked because Qatar is not good, and honestly shouldn't be there. But you grease enough palms and you get to play in the World Cup, I suppose. Anyways, Valencia looked really good. She probably should have had the hat trick.
Yeah,
I thought, that first goal that he should have had did not look offside to me. It was called a little tight, if you ask me. But yeah, he was best player on the pitch by far. Ecuador, an easy 2-0 win. Like, took the second half off, 2-0 win. Anything from that game that stuck out to you besides really nothing, besides Valencia?
The Qataris look nervous, which
Yeah.
is understandable, I guess, when you're the host nation. You've never been at this stage before. A lot of pressure on them. I think I'm correct in saying they're the current Asian Cup champions.
I think so.
So I think that there was maybe more expected of them than we're actually going to get. I think you had the stat in the short that you did on the channel yesterday on YouTube that the Qatar's the first home nation to lose the opening game of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Which made me actually go back and look up and make sure South Africa hadn't, and they hadn't. They drawn.
16 wins, 6 draws, and now 1 loss for your host nations. I don't know how it's going to work next year with 3 teams being the host nation, but
it's going to be very weird next year.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a little
not
odd.
Next year, next World Cup.
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. Yeah. If they only held the World Cup every year, we get nothing done. So, an easy win for Ecuador. I think if anyone bet on Qatar to win anything this year, I think you're going to be.
They were saying
a little more broke.
They were saying in the commentary on the U.S. broadcast that the Qatari players have been in camp the entire season so far. They aren't playing for their club teams. These players, and I just wonder how much that hurt them.
Oh, I think it hurt. Yeah, you have to be competitive. This is insane. I don't understand that at all. Were they worried about them getting hurt? Like this is our best chance. We don't want them hurt. Was that it?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of a reason why they wouldn't want these guys playing at match speed. It makes no sense to me at all. Playing friendlies is a lot different than this. So yeah, I don't get it. Anyways, let's move on to today, where we got a full slate of matches. Luckily, I was up quite early this morning on my day off, mind you, so I got to watch the absolute shellacking England put on Iran. First off, I have to say, never gonna say a bad word about the Iranian men's football team doing the right thing, showing solidarity with everyone protesting in Iran right now, refusing to sing the anthem
Absolutely.
beforehand. So good for them. Uh, yeah, they were outclassed today, and it was England's kids. England's kids coming through. Jude Bellingham with a nice breakthrough goal. How about your guy Saka? Not too Shaba today. Not too
Yeah.
Shaba at all.
Bukayo Saka scored a brace. He was man of the match, I noticed on Twitter. And I felt really good for both him and Marcus Rashford to play in this game, score the goals that they did because of the way that everything that happened to them after the Euro final last
Yeah,
summer. I thought that was a really
disgraceful.
good moment for them today, and I was glad that they both got to have that. Rashford scored like 71 seconds after he came on or something like that.
Yeah,
Like there was just very little resistance from Iran. It seemed like they gave up the first goal, and then instead of trying to sit back and prevent England from scoring another, they decided to try to go forward and equal the score, and that was just never going to work.
it looked like they
The
were caught between two strategies for sure.
Yeah, and the Iranian goalkeeper getting injured was not good.
That
That
yeah, when I first saw that, I went, "Ooh, that's not good." And then they
Yeah,
started showing the slow mo replay of just his face when you could tell he knew what was coming. When he headbutts his own guy like directly face on and falls to the ground, you're like, this is not going to be good. He was
yeah.
down. They played an extra 14 minutes in the first half because of it.
Well, and they didn't take him off right away either.
No,
They
you have to,
left him
yeah,
on for a few minutes, and he
yeah.
finally had to be like, "No, I am not playing anymore." Before they took him off, which is
I
just
think, well,
absurd.
I think it
They
was
got
him.
to
It was him convincing his medical team that he's okay, and then walked around dizzy for a minute and said, "Oh, okay, I'm not okay."
Yeah,
So
it could have
yeah,
been that.
it's time for you. You can't trust the players. They're always going to want to play.
Yeah,
You have to be a doctor. You're not a team doctor. You have to be a doctor. You say this is yeah. You're not well. Get off. You'll play another day. Like yeah, and it was against England. Like come on, you're hoping that you're heroically gonna hold England so that you guys had a chance. It wasn't gonna happen today, buddy. Get off the pitch, rest, see how you're doing in 3 days, 4 days, or whatever it is. I guess they're playing Friday.
yeah,
So yeah, terrible decision by the medical staff to let him stay, but at least he was smart enough to pull himself. Uh, yeah, and that's actually like I think it was 0-0 to that time.
it
The
was
dam
nil
really
nil
broke.
at that point. Yeah,
Yeah, that really broke open after that. How about my guy Raheem Sterling remembering where the net is?
that was good.
That was shocking. I was so happy for him. He's like, oh, he didn't forget completely. Oh, where is this
That
guy?
Yeah, he scored at the first minute of the extra time at the end of the
Yeah,
first half, and it was 3-0 at the halftime, and then just continued on in the second half. England did. Harry Maguire seemed to have
yeah,
an injury of some sort and came off the pitch. It looked like that might be a head thing. It looked like they were checking him to going through concussion protocols and stuff. So who knows about that? But I thought he played decently in the
he
first half.
did. He did play decently.
I
I
was
was quite
surprised.
surprised.
Like for as
Yeah,
little as he has played this year, I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah, what's he been? I think he's factored in 2 matches for the United in those first 2 matches of the year or something. So, yeah, he's not in Ten Hag's rotation anymore for sure. Uh, yeah, it was. Yeah, he played well. Southgate knows what to do with them. He knows what to do with some of these guys. It's he's not playing anybody really out of position. I think that's what's going on with Sterling. I think he's where he should be. Yeah, I think England as a squad uh, played really well. Um, a little surprising. They did not come into this tournament looking good at all. I think they'd lost 6 in a row coming
They
into
had
this.
they didn't win a game in the Nations League
Yeah.
games earlier this year, so they definitely were struggling.
Yeah, they had played well against Germany, still lost the game. Uh, so England off to a good start, and I already saw that they already have the Christmas song where it's coming home, but they're doing it's coming home again, Adelia. But
Yeah,
this time it's coming home for Christmas.
it's coming home for Christmas.
The English love
So
themselves a Christmas tune.
yes, they do.
So now they got their Christmas special here. It's coming home for Christmas. Oh my God, that's a listen. That's a listen, everybody. All right, destruction. That was destruction. Uh, Not destruction. Actually, it was a fairly competitive match. Senegal and the Netherlands, which a little surprising. Um, with Mane being out, I figured it was going to be a wash. Netherlands didn't play well. They didn't look good at all.
No, I didn't
It,
think the Netherlands were. I didn't think this was all that great of a game. It wasn't the worst game of the four we've had so far,
mm-hmm,
but I thought Senegal played really well without Mane,
mm-hmm.
um, and I was a little surprised the Netherlands ended up winning it 2-0 in the end because nobody looked like scoring for a while.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with Senegal. Uh, Mendy showed up. Not the Mendy of a couple years ago when he looked like maybe one of the best keepers in the world. He looks like the Mendy that lost his job earlier this year in Chelsea. Back to Kepa because those were 2 awful mistakes. That first goal, geez, who scored that first one for them?
Gakpo.
Gakpo. Yeah, on a real nice cross from Frankie de Jong. But yeah, the way he goes to punch that ball out, he looks so awkward and late to the ball. Terrible. It was a terrible bit of tending by Mendy. And then on that last one, which really didn't matter because it was in like the last of the 98 minutes or whatever they played. Again, a huge rebound. He gives up a huge rebound.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. It's like, God damn it! I've seen this year over and over and over again. He cannot. He just doesn't play well with the ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, and unfortunately, like you look at the depth, and he has to play. He's going to be playing every game. I don't expect, you know, and I had picked Senegal to finish second in their thing. It's like, oh boy, I don't think that's going to work. But yeah, they need better. He needs to be better. Uh, Now, is Netherlands going to be the toughest matchup for them in the group stage? It might be. Uh,
Yeah, it might be.
yeah, so they got that out of the ways. They played well. They have enough quality there. They should beat Qatar. It comes down to Ecuador, and between the two of them, from what we saw, I think Ecuador is going to give them a hell of a fight. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't know honestly what Ecuador will look like in their own, like when the ball gets into their own box. I don't know if it ever got into the box with Qatar. All their chances were, I think, for just outside the box. So when the fight comes into them, how's Ecuador going to react? But we know what they can do on offense. And right now, Senegal, like Edouard Mendy, ooh, like his confidence cannot be high, especially after today and the season at Chelsea too. It's not, guys. It has not been terrific. Um, one thing I forgot about. What did you think about FIFA banning the One Love captain's bans from the European teams.
They're also making Belgium change their jerseys that have love stitched onto the collar.
Yeah, they're
I think
white
it's
jerseys.
absurd. I think
Yeah,
it's absolutely absurd. If you can't use a tournament like this to protest against discrimination, then what is the point of it? Like, it really bothers me that like FIFA is saying they were told well in advance of the past 48 hours that they couldn't wear those armbands. I don't buy
we
that
know
for a
that's not.
second.
We know that's not true.
I don't
That was
buy that
horse
for
shit.
a second.
Yeah,
I understand why all of the teams that were going to wear them are not wearing them. You can't have your captain getting an immediate yellow card
yeah.
after every game, at the start of every game. But yeah, it's ridiculous. The team should be allowed to say that if they want to say that. There's no reason. It makes me angry, to be perfectly honest.
It's insane that FIFA didn't back them up. FIFA
Yeah.
should have fought for this. They did not. They capitulated again. Uh, yeah, bit of a bit of a joke there in Switzerland. FIFA has been well, they deserve all the shit they're getting. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
Good on them
Definitely.
for trying to do this. Anyways, they're wearing a no discrimination armband. Did you the some of the
Yeah.
things they
FIFA
had
approved
like
non-discrimination armbands.
feed the children? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
no discrimination.
we should point out as well England taking the knee before kickoff. Uh, I thought that was great
Yeah,
as well. Some people I know view these to be empty gestures, and if that's your position, then that's your position and you're entitled to it. But I appreciate those things
yeah.
because any of these protests that people are trying to make, I appreciate. So
All it
it
does is
sucks
bring
that
awareness, and you have the biggest stage in the world. This is the biggest stage. Super Bowl has nothing on the World Cup. The biggest stage in the world. Draw attention to something. As people have people ask questions. Why did they take? If they don't want to talk about it, at least they're going to say why are they taking the knee, and they can go find out for themselves.
yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, good for them. We'll see if many more teams do that over the next few weeks. But here we go. So I am not a USAvian,
No, you're
Adelia.
not.
I think that's how you say it, right?
American?
Oh, sorry, it's American. But I'm not Welsh either, so I got to sit back and enjoy this. I don't know if and this is coming on at a time when you would actually have been able to enjoy it. Didn't have to wake up bright and squirrely or nothing. Some afternoon football, USA Wales, and for me, this was a tale of two goddamn halves.
Yeah, it
There
was.
was there was three different teams out there today.
Definitely.
There was the American team that came out like a cannon and looked amazing. I was honestly watching the CONCACAF qualifying. I couldn't believe this was that same team. They were playing that well.
Mhm.
They were all over the pitch. Christian Pulisic. All right. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I don't get him. I don't get him at all. He looks like he has all the talent in the world, but he has it for about 50 minutes, 45 minutes, tops. This is why, like, we've had arguments with other people saying, you know, why isn't Christian Pulisic starting? It's because he can't finish. He can finish, or he can start, and has to come off. But he doesn't have 90 minutes of football in him, and that was painfully obvious today. He was the best man on the pitch by far in the first half.
Yeah.
It was maybe the best man of the tournament in the first 45 minutes, and then there was nothing. Going to ground, a lot of complaining today from him too. But let's concentrate. Let's go first. Let's just talk about the first half of play, and yeah, they Wales had no answer. Like what were you
Wales had
seeing
nothing
from
in
the
the first half.
yeah?
They
What
had
were you seeing from
absolutely nothing.
America? Yeah,
Um, we came out with energy and we sort of like knew that Wales were gonna. The commentators on the Fox broadcast kept saying, "We know Wales don't want the ball." so they're going to let us have it. And it seemed like we were taking advantage of that. Pulisic played a great pass to Tim Weah for the goal. That
Yes,
was
of
our only
course.
shot on target in the entire game, though. I mean, that's not good when you have as much control as we had in that first half. But it seemed like, okay, when Wales let in the goal, they're like, okay, it's 1-0. We'll keep it 1-0. I thought they played a little better after the goal went in, kept it to 1-0, and then we'll make changes at halftime. And they went into halftime and made those changes. And we came out of halftime not even thinking about them having made changes, it seemed like,
Did not adjust.
and did not adjust at all. And
Nope.
once Kiefer Moore came on for Wales in the second half, he completely changed their shape,
Yep.
and was holding up the ball in play. The whole time, I just kept waiting for Gareth Bale to have a moment, because he always has a moment in every game, whether it's good
Yep.
or bad. He always has a moment. And Walker Zimmerman just completely clattered into him in the
Uh,
penalty box.
I wanted to ask about that because, yeah, it's what I saw too. I saw it was, I think at best you could consider rash. Uh, I think at
Yeah.
worst you consider it insane what he tried to do at that
Yeah.
time in that area of the field. Uh, yeah, spoiled. He really did spoil it.
It was a
Uh,
stupid penalty to concede.
it was awful, and some of the announcers, of course, tried to talk their way through it and stuff like that. It's like there was no ball, there was no nothing. It was late. It was everything. How do you? What were you trying to do? Go through his legs with your knee? Like he
Well,
didn't even go feet first.
yeah, I have no idea what Walker Zimmerman was thinking.
And as
He
soon as he went to ground, like even before he hit him, you started protesting that he didn't do
Yeah,
anything. It's like, yeah, you're gonna be doing something here, buddy.
yeah. And Walker Zimmerman is the guy that everybody was like, well, who is going to play with Walker Zimmerman in that central defense? Now I'm like, how do you have him play the next
Pretty
game?
bizarre. Pretty
Yeah,
bizarre. Uh, Gareth Bale gets to the spot, puts it home, but Turner was right there. That's
Turner
got
almost had it.
that's got to drive him bananas. He was right there.
Yeah, you could tell he was very upset that he
Yeah,
didn't get it when he dove the right way. But that Gareth Bale magic, man, that's all Gareth Bale can do is create a moment, and it's either going to be something brilliant or it's going to be something terrible, but it's going to be a moment.
and
And
you knew it
he
was going to
did
come
that.
off it was going to come off a set piece one way or another. It was going to
Yeah.
either come from a corner or it was going to come from a penalty. Uh,
There's just nothing else Gareth Bale offers that team in terms of the way that they play. He doesn't track back. He doesn't get back and defend. He doesn't do anything else. This is the
nope.
only thing Gareth Bale is there to do, and today he
He's not,
did it.
he won't win a tackle.
No.
He won't do anything. He'll get there if the ball comes to him. He can put it into the net if he has enough space.
Yeah.
And well, good on him. He did protect the ball in the box when he got run through.
I think the
So
US
he,
has
yeah,
to look at this as a real missed opportunity,
I
though.
think, yeah, 100% they do. 100% they do. Where do they go from here? They play England
They
on your
play
Black Friday.
England on Friday, on Black Friday, yeah.
Okay. Now,
They have to keep that game close. If England scores 4 or 5 past the US and then is into the knockout stages comfortably at that point and can rest players against Wales, then I think it's England and Wales that are going through. But if we
100%.
can keep it close enough with England that Wales has to really go out there and make a true game of it against England and score a bunch, well, we're playing Iran, which is not going to be easy, I don't think. I think Iran can actually play a lot better than they played today.
Mm,
They're the 20th ranked team in the world for a reason.
mm.
So I'm expecting they will be playing better further in the tournament than they did today. Then the final game of this group could be interesting. But if we lose 4 or 5 goals to England, then I think it's over. And I think it might not mathematically be over, but I think it's probably over.
Here is a situation. Would you, as American manager, which I'm sure you will be at some point, will you, would you sit Pulisic against England?
Yes.
I don't think there's a point in having him on the pitch, especially for 45 minutes. As much quality
And
as he can bring in that time, I think you need him healthy and rested for a game that you're going to need to win against Iran.
yeah. And I also Gio Reyna didn't play at all in this game. He didn't come in as a sub. He didn't like what the hell is Greg Berhalter thinking? He was talking after the game was over about how he was talking after the game was over about how there was some tightness and they were trying to manage it or whatever. And then Gio Reyna came out after that and said, "No, I'm 100% fit. Let's go." So like
Yeah.
he has to play against England. He has to be in the starting lineup against England. Especially with Weston McKennie looking like he's re-aggravated the thigh injury that's kept him out for Juventus for the past several weeks. Yunus Musa looked like he was struggling. I'm hoping that was just cramps at the end of the game, but who knows? Like,
Yeah, they got to start. They got to take a deep look at their starting 11 going up against England. And the back line looked like defensively, you guys look fine. It looked
yeah,
fine. I think you guys lost the middle of the pitch, obviously, in the second half. Uh, yeah, like changes against England. It's going to be so hard because they're young and fast and skilled. They got everything. The one thing you go against with England is I don't think Jordan Pickford had a very good game.
no, I don't think Pickford had a very good game either. But I
Don't
don't
they?
see Gareth Southgate not playing Pickford.
I mean, don't they have somebody who has some quality on the bench?
Yeah, they do. Maybe the starting goalkeeper for the team that's leading the Premier League right now, who seems to, for some reason, somebody was saying, be third choice out of these goalkeepers.
This is bananas.
It's
It's
absurd.
bananas. It's bananas. Oh well. Well, Southgate, we'll see what you're gonna do here, buddy. Going on Friday. Yeah, it's a tough. It's gonna be tough for the USA.
It
I think
is.
I picked. I think I picked Wales on this one
I
to
think
get
you
through.
did.
So
You did.
it's gonna be tough. But then again, if Iran goes back to form against if you're thinking that Iran's going to be back in form by the time it gets to the U.S., maybe they've gotten back in form for Wales,
Yeah.
and they could already have settled one of America's biggest problems. But yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty interesting last couple games in this group. Looking forward to some of the other games we got going on here. Argentina and Saudi Arabia.
I
Uh,
will not be awake for that tomorrow morning.
no, maybe I'll get up. I have to work early in the morning, and maybe I'll get up and watch the first half or something like that before I go to work. Make sure I see some of it. I'm sure it's going to be very, very close. It'll probably be a chess match.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Not at
Argentina should
all.
probably 3 or 4 goals for Argentina, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But the other game, Mexico Poland, that could be good.
Mexico Poland should be pretty good. I think they're probably playing for second place in that group.
100%. Um, Mexico again did not look great in qualifying, but it's the World Cup. People play better. I have not had a chance to see much of Poland at all.
I
Uh,
haven't either.
yeah, so to say that I think that either Mexico or Poland is going to win is going to like shrug my shoulders really. But I think you know I'm gonna say that one I could see as being a draw. Maybe that'll be a
It could
draw.
be a draw. Yeah.
Yeah, France and the Socceroos.
That should be France.
Yeah,
Even without
yeah,
Karim Benzema, that should definitely be a French win.
yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, the injury bug really seemed to affect France this year, but they're deep.
They
So
do. They are.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
N'Golo Conte not there. Benzema out now. Yeah, they got enough. They got enough to beat Australia for sure. So that's
And
all.
no, the other game tomorrow is Denmark
Yep.
Tunisia.
Yeah, we got Denmark and Tunisia, which I would imagine Denmark should have no problems
Yeah, I
with
would
a
think.
Tunisian squad that hasn't, has qualified before, but I don't think they've ever won a match in in the World Cup. So yeah, I would think Denmark will be moving through them fairly easily. Well, we'll see. But yeah, a packed day. So we will be back probably Friday.
Yeah.
We can talk
We'll
about those matches.
we'll probably be putting up shorts on the Let's Get Ready Network, the Highlights YouTube channel.
For,
There will be a link to that in the description of this, and that will definitely probably be doing those every day. Maybe not for every game, but definitely every day we'll put up a short. Ferris put up one today on the U.S. and Wales game.
can't wait. Can't wait to see it.
And
Silky
any,
smooth. Silky
we'll
smooth.
probably be back on Friday after the matches on Friday, or sometime this weekend.
I think we'll go a little in depth with Belgium, Canada, which I will definitely do a short for at some point after or during or throughout the game, depending on how badly I feel we've been wrong. But Canada in in tough against the team, I think will probably be your World Cup champions this year. But until then, Adelia, do you have anything else happening?
Just join us on Patreon, patreon.com/LGR_network. $1 gets you into the Discord where you can talk World Cup with us in either the voice chat or in the text channels.
That's true.
And there's 4 different tiers. You can choose which one's right for you if you're interested. Subscribe to the new YouTube channel. This isn't quite up on YouTube yet. Will be in the next few weeks, but that link, like I said, will be in the description. And Snark, what about you?
Well, don't forget if you join the Patreon, you get access to LGR After Snark, the after show for the after show that no longer exists, featuring this guy and some Brazilian guy, and we just have drinks and talk to people. That's really there's nothing to that show, guys. That's all we really do. Other than that, you could see us here now twice a week for the World Cup. And I hope you all have a good week. Let's go, Canada.
And happy Thanksgiving if you're American.